is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got a brand new bingo card for you, which is pinned to the top of Pat Gray Unleashed right now. But it looks a little something like this.
Wait, where's Pat Unleashed?
On Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's pinned to the top of the Pat Unleashed
Twitter page. All right. And it starts in the upper left-hand corner with Manawa Niarawa, which is just,
just fun.
Just a fun way of saying Managua, Nicaragua. If you didn't understand that because it was such incredible Spanish on my part. Manawa Niarawa. That came because those are usually American broadcasters saying it like that.
Yeah.
They'll speak in completely non-accented English until they get to a Spanish word or name, like Manawanir. Today, 4 people were killed in a car explosion in Manawanir. All right. So then we got Keith saying,
all right.
Then 6-8, months, usually 6-8 months, 6-8 minutes, 6-8 hours, whatever. Any lib video in a car where they're screaming about something they're pissed off about. So we'll have one of those for you.
They're so soundproof.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've actually recorded an interview. Well, actually several from inside a ar. It's just It's just a good little soundproof booth, Pat.
Yeah, and nobody's in there with you.
Right.
Usually to bother you. Then we have Jeffy. You don't want none of this. Then we got John Kennedy saying,
the Biden administration sucks.
So good.
Yes.
And then we have George W. Bush.
Fool me once. Shame on
you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
You fool me, we can't get fooled again.
That usually ends up in once, twice, 3 times a lady, and I love you. But not with him. KJP?
I don't have anything else to share.
Okay. As usual.
I don't have any.
Then we've got, are you working for Potter now? You see. Inappropriately named Joy. That's usually always referring to Joy Behar. Because she's just not joyful. Jeffy, have a nice day. Then the wonderful, excuse me, it's ma'am. There you go. It is ma'am. Mm-hmm. Then when the announcement comes on, Pat Gray is here, and then I say, I am. Carmen Line. Keith.
No, just give a fun fact. Oh, that'd be good.
Blaze Dingles are mentioned. That'll be done by Jeffy.
Yeah.
My phone or computer chimes or makes some kind of noise, which just happened shortly before we went on the air here.
That was
too bad it didn't happen right.
That was a new sound for me.
Well,
I was a little concerned. It was your phone was agitated. I thought maybe glucose was about to go splattering all over the studio. But you okay over there?
Glucose explosion.
I didn't know what was about to happen. It's not like a bomb countdown on your phone. Like 24 episode being filmed.
It meant that I was out of range of my phone for too long.
How dare you?
Yeah.
It was worried about you.
It was worried. It was worried. Like, where are you? I can't tell what your glucose is right now.
So your phone now has separation anxiety.
It does.
Where before it was just chill, but now it's worried about you.
Now it worries. Then we have this wonderful question.
In the 1980s or now?
No, not that.
Nope.
No, that is not the question I'm thinking of.
Why are you gay?
That is. Love that.
Why are you gay?
They almost work together.
Then we talk about the Clinton body count or the Clinton kill list. Your refusal to do your job is revolting.
Oh, that's a clip. Yeah.
What is that from?
I don't know, but somebody played it during overtime last week.
Did they?
That's the.
Okay.
That's the guy yelling at Lori Lightfoot.
Oh, that's right. Yes, the reporter.
One of these rooms has it because we played it Friday.
We just don't know where it is right now.
Okay.
Then Keith says,
I just add and stuff.
Okay. You are a pandemic.
You are a pandemic.
Okay.
Well, maybe that's the Lightfoot guy. Hell, I don't know who your refusal to do your job is revolting. How I think about it.
No, I think that is the
same
Lightfoot.
guy. Both
Yeah,
the same guy.
I think so. Are they both the same guy?
I don't know.
That's the reporter who was dressing down Lori Lightfoot. Mm-hmm. Then we have, especially this time of year, Jeffy says, "This is the United States of America," and pumpkin. So a pretty good list this week on the Pat Gray bingo sheet. And when you actually get a bingo, either diagonal, down, across, whatever way you get one, then you call us at 888-900-3393 to win something from PatGrayShop.com and a box of a dozen cookies from KexyCookies.com, from Kexy.com. So it's a pretty good prize package now, worth probably about $90.
Wow.
Altogether.
Wow.
Altogether. And I mean, that's from the prize closet of the Blaze. That's pretty impressive. Because how many things have we ever had worth $90 from the prize closet at the Blaze? Probably none. I don't know if we've ever had that. All right. In case you aren't familiar with the recent developments of the Hunter Biden laptop story, here's a 20-second synopsis from CBS News.
Oh, that's helpful.
According to a letter released Thursday night from the Republican chairman of the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committees, former CIA Deputy Director Michael Morell told congressional investigators that days after the laptop story, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, then a Biden campaign advisor, reached out to Morell and set in motion the events that led to the intelligence official's public statement.
There we go. So
what? That was it?
Well, I mean, just a little. There's a little synopsis there of how the...
Basically didn't say anything about it, though, really.
Okay, so it shows that the highest levels of the Biden campaign were able to use their sources among the intelligence community to discredit the Hunter Biden laptop story. And I appreciate CBS News actually giving the time of day.
Yeah,
this isn't the first time that they've done this on stuff like this.
That's true.
They were the lead on the documents in the garage. And this is absolutely they
seem to be trying every once in a while.
And this was what Anthony Blinken parlayed into because he wanted to be Secretary of State. And so by taking the lead on planting this, it's disinformation right on the eve of the election, he was able to put himself in the driver's seat for the payoff. It's a big deal. It's a very big. Over 50 intelligence people who lied on behalf of the Biden administration. You want to talk about election interference? It's this story, 100%. And this is... we're in a bizarro world where this probably in the end won't make any difference. But, it's nice to see...
Isn't that always the case, though?
Yeah.
Where will it lead? What's going to come of it? That's always the question we ask ourselves. And it's usually it's going nowhere. But who knows? This might actually go somewhere eventually because it is starting to pick up a little bit of momentum. When CBS is talking about it, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. If it's not just Fox News and somebody in the mainstream media is picking it up, that's more than we expect usually.
Yeah.
So over at the State Department, reporters are asking if Secretary of State Antony Blinken has a comment about the report that he orchestrated false responses from over 50 people in the intel community about the Hunter Biden laptop story on the eve of the 2020 election.
Does the Secretary dispute the accuracy of the GOP letter sent to him on Hunter Biden? And then does he also plan to comply and respond to it by May 4th, the deadline?
That is a not a State Department issue, so I don't have a comment for you on that.
Who's this guy?
Ask about it because we've asked the State Department to provide some sort of comment on this letter, and it's not clear who else outside of the department we can ask, given it did happen before he was Secretary of State.
It is not a State Department issue, and I don't really have a comment on this from the State Department.
So pathetic.
Great.
So in other words, if you go to KJP, she refers you to the State Department,
and the State Department has no comment on it.
These people suck.
Wait, if it's about Secretary of State Antony Blinken, how can it not be a State Department issue? And who is that guy? I've never seen him before.
I don't know, one of the deputy.
He's like
press.
assistant to the assistant deputy director of communications or something at the State Department. But Joe Biden repeatedly said on the campaign trail in 2020 that the laptop story was garbage.
50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plan. They have said that this has all the 5 former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage.
This is classic Trump.
Because they lied.
We have 4 days left, and all of a sudden there's a laptop. There's overwhelming evidence that
there's a laptop.
From the intelligence community that the Russians are engaged.
I still think that the stories from the fall about your son Hunter were Russian disinformation and smear campaign.
And he walks off.
Yes. I know you'd ask it. I have no response. It's another smear campaign. It's the last-ditch effort in this desperate campaign to smear me and my family. The vast majority of the intelligence people have come out and said there's no basis at all.
My gosh. So one lie after another from President Braindead on the laptop situation. Because I guess at that time it was okay for him to say it was Russian disinformation. It was Russian hacking. It was a nonsensical story when, sometimes people weren't exactly sure. They weren't positive it was, we were. We knew it was Hunter Biden's laptop. But he could get away with that then. You can't get away with that now. When you look back at that, and he's obviously 100% lying to our face. And that's just proof positive. He's a stinking liar. But, of course, he would lie his way out of that to try to save his campaign. Meanwhile, Biden says there are 2 things that sum up his presidency.
As I've told my distinguished friend from Massachusetts and good friend, Senator Markey, that it's really very, very dull when after all these years in public life you're known for 2 things: Ray-Ban sunglasses and chocolate chip ice cream. Yeah. Very dull president, but
that's all you're known for: Ray-Ban sunglasses and chocolate chip ice cream.
No, a family on the take from the Chinese.
That's
pretty well known for that.
So it's the whole 3 things.
3 things.
He left one out.
All right. And really, that's not the important one. It's the chocolate chip ice. I've never heard the Ray-Ban sunglasses thing before. Did you know he was known for Ray-Ban sunglasses?
He wears them whenever he's outside there.
I know. I had no idea that was a thing. No.
He looks cool, though, right?
No, yeah. He looks incredible. On CNN, they took a poll over the weekend showing how great things are going for America.
Oh, good.
Here's John King.
This is a tough challenge
numbers.
if you're an incumbent president. Look at this number.
Uh-oh.
Nearly 3/4 of Americans say the country's going in the wrong direction. Joe Biden is asking for 4 more years. When 74% of Americans think the country's heading the wrong way, it's hard for the boss to say, give me 4 more years. This is a giant challenge for the president.
Wait, what?
Good luck to you, Joe.
Geez, CBS starting to tell the truth? CNN telling the truth a little bit there?
They're like, look, we can't cover for this asshat any longer. We just can't do it. So, because we got a big announcement tomorrow.
Asshat is perfect.
Joe Biden's going to be announcing his I would say,
yeah, it's tomorrow, right?
I would call it re-election announcement, but
yeah,
he's announcing that he's running for president in 2024.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Meanwhile, 3 out of 4 Americans are hoping he has a last-minute change of heart. 70%. So not quite 3 out of 4, but 70%.
No, 74%. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, so you said, okay.
Don't want him to run again.
Right. Oh, don't want him to run again.
Want him to run again.
So the CNN thing says 74% says we're heading the wrong way.
Right. And 70% don't want him to run again.
Is that Americans, Democrats? Or, okay.
Yeah, it's Americans. Yeah, overall. But that's way more than just Democrats.
No kidding.
I mean, way more than just Republicans. That includes Democrats and independents.
I'm telling you, man.
Nobody wants this guy.
There is a path for Robert Kennedy Jr. to get at least the Democrat nomination.
There could be.
Maybe the presidency, quite honestly. This is going to be an interesting 18 months here.
Among those who don't want the 80-year-old president to pursue a second term, 69% cite age as a reason, 48% calling it a major reason. Worse yet for Biden, the new survey shows him facing a steep uphill climb in a general election NBC, and this is from NBC. This isn't Fox News or Rasmussen.
Okay.
NBC poll shows 41% of Americans plan to vote for Biden. That's compared to 47% who say they will back the Republican nominee.
Did I just hear a chime on your computer there?
I think you did. Yes. Yes, you did hear a chime on my computer because my magic muffins are done. So I got to get them out of the oven here in a second.
Well, that worked out.
Yeah, didn't it though?
So, but
bam, just like that.
The chocolate chip Ray-Ban guy has got bad poll numbers?
Yeah. Yeah, you might say that. 47-41, the Republican nominee wins, according to an NBC poll. Now, they try to couch that by saying, well, yeah, but his likely Republican opponent, Donald Trump, is even less approved of than he is.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for that. That's perfect. Thanks. Appreciate it. It's just, yeah, I mean, you can never get, just a straight poll from NBC News. And a Democrat voter called C-SPAN with some advice for Joe Biden.
Oh, right.
I would like to see Gina Raimondo, who is the Commerce Secretary, run instead of Biden, plus some other Democrats run. I think...
Tell me why.
Well, I think he's too old, really, unfortunately. Happens to all of us. In the meantime, I think he should walk and swing his arms when he walks like regular people. He would look more vigorous.
Okay.
Look more vigorous.
All right, just swing your arms.
Yeah.
So that's the advice from the voter.
Yeah.
Swing your arms, Joe, when you walk.
Well, that and he's a Gina Raimondo stan calling C-SPAN.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of Commerce Secretary.
No, you really don't.
Fan club calls, but you watch enough C-SPAN, you catch those moments.
If Gina ran for president, though, wouldn't you vote for her? I mean, absolutely, right?
Sure,
I mean,
sure. Does she swing her arms when she walks?
Yes. Yes, she does. She looks very, very vigorous. Very vigorous.
It is so bad that you've got Democrats saying, bro, you don't even know how to walk.
And I'm a little irritated that they're couching this and he's old. Yeah, he's old, but there's more to it than that.
So much more.
He's compromised due to age. Now, if he was just 80 and a very spry 80, I mean, I see people that are in their 90s who are spry, who have all their faculties, who can still talk and think and, noodle things out and are fine. This guy is not fine.
You're saying that you're not convinced when Joe Biden does his little fake run?
Yeah. That he's super vigorous.
I am. Woo!
Yeah, no,
that doesn't sell you
not
on him
entirely
being spry and
no. I'm sorry. I'm picky like that.
Huh.
When he says things like I don't know this.
Our natural wonders are inspire, and the reflection inspires our to take action.
Right.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Okay.
I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with them.
How far?
Traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact.
Right.
A solid meeting with
can't remember.
You get it.
They make a very good point. Here's the deal.
All right, here's the deal.
Here's what drives the driver in the states that are affected.
Sure.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Right.
All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
Promise we made in the Declaration of Independence.
Okay. So and she was about to go on the same thing. You know the thing, kind of deal. Neither one of them can recite the Declaration of Independence, and maybe nobody can. I mean, very few people have the entirety of it memorized, but usually the first sentence or two are fairly self-evident.
Yeah.
Most Americans can kind of knock it out, but not these two.
Yeah, but what drives the drivers in the States?
That's a really good question. It's along the lines of why did email things. What was that? I don't even remember.
Why does traffic email send? I don't know. Man, this administration, they're terrible.
They suck.
They are just
They
the worst.
are really, really bad.
The worst.
Because I think what you were looking for there is...
the Biden administration sucks.
Does that about sum it up for you?
It works perfectly. Thank you very much.
You bet. Also, I'm starting to become quite irritated with this situation. The Nashville shooter.
Yep.
Her manifesto.
Mm-hmm.
His manifesto, whatever you want to call this person, is a blueprint on total destruction, which the FBI is stalling to release, according to local politicians who describe its contents as astronomically dangerous. Almost a month after the shooter, who identified, of course, as transgender, killed 6 people, including 3 9-year-old children at the city's Covenant Elementary School before being shot by police authorities, have yet to release the motive or any of the writings seized from the home, despite growing pressure. And Glenn Greenwald has enlisted a firm to try to help him get these things released because of the Freedom of Information Act. And you know that if this was a MAGA Republican, it would have been released a long time, the day after or the day of. This is unbelievable that we still don't have access to this information. Why'd this person do it? And they continue to deny that it was anything religious, despite the fact that this person shot up a Christian school. Representative Tim Burchett from Tennessee told the New York Post he knew the FBI was behind the delay, saying the news was disappointing, calling for documents to be released to grieving loved ones as well as members of Congress. He said the manifesto could maybe tell us a little bit about what's going on inside of her head. I think that would answer a lot of questions. 20 journals, 5 laptops, a suicide note, and various other notes written by this person were seized from the house that she shared with her parents, as well as 2 memoirs, 5 Covenant School yearbooks, and 7 cell phones. So there's a ton of information that they're just keeping from us. I guess we just have no right to know. And what they want to do is just sweep this under the rug, and they're hoping, because we have short attention spans, that we're just going to forget about it. They'll just forget about it. If we just ride out the pressure right now, we won't ever have to release this thing, just like the Las Vegas shooter.
Yeah, and it's par for the course. I mean, the Nashville police were very open, upfront, very quick. They released everything.
Right.
They had.
Then the FBI got involved.
The police chief had no problem early on saying, she's trans. Had no problem releasing the body cam footage within 24 hours.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, we hear about the manifesto, like you said, and then
it's gone.
Somebody pulled a handbrake, and you said, "Oh crap, feds are there." That's what it is. Of course, it is.
And that's exactly what happened. Why the FBI is able to take this manifesto and keep it all to themselves? Who knows? I don't know how that happened. But why wouldn't we want to keep Joe Biden as president? I mean, 70% of us don't want him to run again.
That was weird, right?
Yeah, it's really strange.
Because things are going so well in this country.
Oh, my gosh.
You'd think it would just be a no-brainer.
Have you bought gas lately and seen how much the price has come down since it's high? Oh, it's really not down. Now, they can't even say that really anymore because...
Oh, they do, though.
From the all-time high, it's down by a few cents, really. That's about it.
Yet they do.
Yeah, they keep doing it. But I bet the residents in East Palestine, Ohio, just love him. It's been almost 3 months now since that toxic train derailment. Still no visit. Doesn't intend to be any visit. He's just not going to go there.
Yeah, he said, remember that one time he was in the hallway there with Chuck Schumer. He said, I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. When's that going to be? Here's where he has visited since the big chemical spill in Ohio.
Where's that?
Delaware, 8 times. Maryland, 4 times. Pennsylvania, 4 times. 3 times to Camp David. He went to Canada, Germany, Ireland, Poland, Ukraine, United Kingdom, Alabama, California, Florida, Minnesota, Mississippi, Nevada, North Carolina, Virginia, and Wisconsin.
Okay. All right, I got it.
All right.
He's going everywhere. It's like he's avoiding East Palestine, Ohio, intentionally. It's almost like that.
Yeah. About the only place he hasn't been is Bemidji, Minnesota. That's about the only place.
Now, Robert Kennedy tweeted out a few weeks back, nearly half of CDC workers doing door-to-door surveys in East Palestine got sick with similar symptoms residents reported after the toxic train
What an
derailment.
amazing coincidence.
Even though government officials and representatives from Norfolk Southern declared everything is safe. And meanwhile, we have this. I just printed this up. I haven't had a chance to really look at this from a trusted source of the program. Just says, I happened to run into a guy with a very bad cough, and it turns out he's one of the truckers hauling the debris from East Palestine.
Yeah, jeez.
He told me how bad the initial stuff was, and it wrecked his lungs. He said they're having a hard time finding people who will drive the stuff out to places or who will take it to destroy. He mentioned the stuff going out now isn't as bad as the earlier stuff, but he wouldn't eat any meat or produce grown 1,000 miles?
Jeez.
From there because those chemicals are everywhere. He also said the federal government and media have been hassling drivers on where they're taking the debris. He told me sometimes the media follows the trucks so the drivers take them on back roads and loop around to mess with them. My gosh. I asked him where the debris is going, and he told me a lot goes to Michigan, but a bit is going to the Midwest like Iowa and Indiana. I know it's just anecdotal, but I don't think he was making it up. He told me how much they're paying drivers to haul that stuff, and
then when it winds up in those states,
it's a fortune.
Where in those states are they putting it?
Yeah,
just dumping it in a landfill somewhere. What are they doing with it? Really bad. Really bad. We'll never know the extent. Well, maybe 15, 20, 30, 50 years from now.
Watch the cancer rates in a radius around East Palestine.
Yeah.
There's your telltale sign.
Yeah. And didn't Erin Brockovich go? She's already been there. So maybe we can expect a lawsuit. Let's hope. Jeez. I mean, something's got to bring this to light. Somebody's got to fight on behalf of the residents of East Palestine and that whole area around there. Because, eventually we're going to hear about all kinds of cancer and who knows what. People growing third tails. I haven't grown a third tail. People aren't going to be able to say that in East Palestine. Also, on Friday, Joe told us about climate justice.
All right.
Coming to every federal department in Washington.
Waiting for this.
Finally.
Good times.
Here's what he said about it.
Under this order, environmental justice will become the responsibility of every single federal agency. I mean, every single federal agency.
Good. Yeah.
He means every.
He means, what does he mean by that, though? Every single federal agency. What do you mean? I don't know what that means. Does it mean everyone? That doesn't mean every federal agency.
Oh, you're going to see how it means everyone. Yep.
Surely they don't mean every single area. Yeah. Like the military, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's see.
Check this out.
This is the U.S. Army's new mission plan.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. This is good. You'll feel safer after this.
And this would be...
Clip 8.
Cut 8.
Oh, look at that. You got windmills and stuff. See, Pat, don't you feel
We are
safe?
responding to climate threats.
Oh, the Army.
U.S. Army released its climate strategy implementation plan to respond to threats from climate that affect installation and unit sustainability.
Where in
blah,
hell?
blah, blah.
Where in hell?
Working to protect critical assets.
This
Good.
is your armed forces battling our number one threat, they've said.
While our
Climate
enemies
change.
are working on supersonic ballistic missiles, we're working hard to talk about sustainability of the climate in the military. Asinine.
Nope.
Do we just have a death wish as a nation
Yes,
now?
we do. Yes, we do.
Just have a death wish.
It's good versus evil, and evil is doing everything they can with the levers at their disposal to destroy us.
And there's more fun just around the corner. Hang on.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. Got a few tweets here to share. The Sons of Thunder 42 tweets. 2 words that describe Biden's time in office: dazed and confused. From the Pickled Squirrel. You mean 3 out of 4 U.S. Americans don't want Captain Applesauce to run again?
Captain Applesauce. Awesome.
Because I believe that some U.S. Americans don't have maps. I think that's what the Pickled Squirrel is referencing there. You think?
Captain
U.S.
Applesauce?
Americans.
U.S. Americans. Yeah,
Maybe 3 out of 4 U.S. Americans.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dave the Man. Do you think Biden's recorded speech is going to be AI generated? That's, I mean, they have the technology now. That wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. Lutheran housewife.
Be more coherent.
It's for sure. It's going to be hard for RFK Jr. to get the nomination when the Dems have already announced that they aren't going to hold primary debates.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Not neither.
That's going to become an issue. That's going to be used against him, I think. Wow, you don't have the balls to debate someone in your own party? Okay.
Right. Uncle Buck's 5-wood. Michelle Obama to the rescue in 2024. I'd be worried about that if I thought she had 1 iota of interest. For some reason, again, she's popular. I've never understood it, but she would be a problem. Michelle Harrison. Joe was compromised before dementia set in. Yeah. He's a traitor.
Yep. Agree.
Mm-hmm. And Joe, the world liquor. Relax. We'll get the manifesto from the Nashville shooter just as soon as they wrap up the Vegas shooting investigation and provide a motive. For that, they'll just move right on to Nashville. Bang! Just like that, I'm sure. You're right.
Well, they gave us a motive,
You're
and
right.
It's completely believable. It's just he was mad about his gambling debts, right?
Oh, the Las Vegas shooter?
Yeah. I hate casinos because I don't know how to place bets properly.
Right.
Okay.
All righty. And this trans person, the motive we've heard is that, she was the victim, really, along with the entire trans community. And the LGBTQIA2+ people, that they're the victims here, not anybody else. It's incredible. By the way, there's more climate fun with the Biden administration. We were sharing some of this before the break.
Thank goodness.
But John Kerry made the rounds on Friday to talk about the next step forward with climate change.
So I think that we are on the right track as long as the emissions begin to be abated. They begin to be captured. And that is the key for the oil and gas industry. There's no free pass here. It is imperative that we meet our goals, and that will require capturing emissions, which are the real problem, the real enemy.
Right.
You're going to capture them, and then you're going to pump them into the earth. I mean, this is
so bizarre.
It's all follow the money, y'all. I mean, this audience doesn't need to be told that. But my gosh, what a scam. What a scam.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how they're finding these places in America. They're like, yeah, sure. Pump your pollution down in here. I mean, they're building pipelines, across the country. They can't build a pipeline to bring cheap energy to markets, but they can build pipelines to carry CO2 across the country and then pump it into the earth. What a stupid
madness.
Country.
It's just all madness.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy and congressional Republicans have unveiled a budget plan.
Yeah.
A budget plan. What is that? What? I don't even know the meaning of that word.
Yeah.
You?
They've actually been leaving it out of dictionaries.
Yeah.
In the last 10, 12 years.
Right.
6, 8 years.
Yeah, at least 6, 8 years. Probably more like 16, 18 years.
Yeah.
But Joe still refuses to sit down and negotiate.
Yeah.
He's always talking about uniting,
right?
Bipartisanship, blah, blah, blah,
and
blah,
there
blah.
are a dozen clips over the years of him talking about, you got to sit down, man, when he was a senator. You got to sit down and you got to give a little, but now that he's president, don't bother. I'm not sitting down. So the Republicans have unveiled a plan, and when are we going to get that meeting between Biden and McCarthy?
Well, here's KJP talking about it.
Oh, good.
Speaker McCarthy unveiled a ransom note holding our economy hostage. It's a 320-page plan to kill jobs, fill our cities with smog
Listen to
and
this. Yeah,
give
right.
asthma to our children.
Listen.
The proposal would repeal the Inflation Reduction Act's green energy
Good.
tax credit, sending thousands of jobs back to China.
Okay.
It would make it easier for oil companies to use toxic chemicals that cause severe burns, damage people's eyes, and quite literally melt bones.
Oh, they care about that now?
Bones, bro.
Huh. They didn't give a rat's anus about that when the train derailed in East Palestine. But now, super important to them.
But man,
now we can talk about it.
You remember when the Republicans had they had the presidency, they had the House, and they had the Senate. And thank goodness we got ourselves a Democrat in there because bones were melting.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. Bones were melting on a regular basis. You're laughing, but
no.
You act like it's not a big deal, Pat.
Right? No, I don't mean to imply that
Okay,
at all.
because everyone heard you laughing at that.
Yeah, I was laughing at something else.
Something else, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
A joke that somebody told me before the show started.
Dude, I made my dad so angry one time doing that. Anyway, what are you laughing at, son? Oh, I was just thinking of a joke I heard earlier. Where you come here, I'm going to punch you, kid. Anyhow, so they will not sit down and have they always talk about we got to have a conversation. Got to have a conversation. You won't even sit down and discuss the budget with the Speaker of the House?
Yeah.
These people are sick. And that's all you're going to hear. You're going to hear this fear. It's going to be 1994 all over again. Remember when they were like, oh, look, Newt Gingrich and the Americans, they want to cut all this program and stuff. We just want to sit down and talk.
And, these climate projects are really helping the environment and all living things on this planet. We actually have video. You hear every once in a while how these windmills, these turbines are killing birds. Oh, was it I've heard 1 billion birds or something have died from these?
It's a lot higher than you would think. And there's videos that you see where people find birds dead, majestic birds on the ground directly below these wind turbines. And apparently it kills offshore as well. Not only the birds, but whales and stuff like that. I mean, these things apparently, they are not good for the environment.
No, and this should be something that environmentalists are talking about, but they won't.
Yeah.
They act like it's not happening. Well,
honestly,
here's video proof of it happening.
Yeah.
This is hard to watch.
Hard to watch, y'all. Be careful if you have kids around.
There's a bald eagle.
Yeah. Why isn't PETA chained to these things everywhere? I don't know what that would do, but chain yourself to these things. But this guy is recording because
sadly
he knows what's
gets in the
happen.
way and gets hit by one of the dang, goes all the way to the ground,
and then struggles for life. And I hope that they were able to.
Hopefully, it recovered. But that is really sad.
It's tough to watch. Yeah. But say that eagle's name, Greenies.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, it's just the silence, the selective outrage.
Well, that
is so frustrating.
The spill at East Palestine that they didn't care about at all, not in the least. All right, we got much more. Barely scratched the surface so far, but let me tell you about My Patriot Supply. Anybody who thinks you won't need emergency food eventually just isn't paying attention to what's going on. Every day the headlines get worse and worse. Is the unthinkable next? It may or may not be tomorrow, the next day, next week, next month. Who knows? Maybe it's 5 years down the road or 10. Either way, you should be prepared for whatever eventuality. Doesn't even have to be, a natural disaster or a economic disaster. What if it's just a personal disaster, like you lose your job for a while? You never know when the next shoe will drop. And when it does, emergency food is going to be hard to find. So get yours now and on sale. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. Check out their popular 3-month emergency food kit. This gets you through almost every eventuality. After 3 months, the nation should be recovering by then, or maybe you found a job by then. But 3 months gets you through probably 95% of any kind of disaster that would happen. Now, you might also consider down the road, after you get the 3 months taken care of, consider a year's worth of food for you and your family. And right now, you'll save $200 per emergency food kit. Get one kit per family, for family member, so that nobody in your family goes hungry. They give you a wide variety of delicious breakfasts. That's the other thing, too. These meals really taste good. So, you're not going to have to just plug your nose and choke it down. They're really delicious. Act now to claim your $200 savings per kit. You'll sleep better knowing your family and will not be suffering if the worst ever happens. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and you'll get free shipping too. mypatriotsupply.com. Do it before it's too late.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Several interesting polls have come out over the weekend. One we mentioned already, 70% of Americans don't want Biden to run for president. Now this, most voters, 62%, also think that the government is likely ignoring evidence of widespread election fraud from the midterm elections.
Huh.
Isn't that interesting?
62% think the government is ignoring evidence of widespread election fraud.
Of those respondents who said it's likely cheating affected the outcomes of some of the races, 37% said it's very likely when broken down by party. Get this, 48% of Democrats think cheating likely impacted some outcomes in 2022. 48%!
2022.
Yeah. So the midterms.
I'm wondering what they would say about 2020.
Oh, yeah. I wonder about that, too.
Because, Republicans took the House.
That's right.
Are they saying, Republicans stole the House?
That could be. That probably is. Most voters also think that the government is likely ignoring evidence of widespread election fraud. And so there's only a 3% margin of error. Whatever the case may be, people just don't have confidence in U.S. elections anymore. It's really depressing.
That's a bad place to be as a nation.
Disappointing. Sure is.
And, after Tucker Carlson released the January 6 videos that Speaker McCarthy gave him, 65% of Americans, I believe it is, think that the federal government themselves was involved in instigating what occurred on January 6th. And
fun.
By the way, so 65% think. So it sounds like a very similar number to the election fraud thing. Ray Epps was a guest on 60 Minutes last night, and I don't know if we'll get to it here. Maybe we'll do it in overtime, but we got some clips from that, and you can decide for yourself about old Ray Epps. And
it's fascinating.
I'm sure he's exonerated, right? Like, we can move on now after he sat down with 60 Minutes.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think you'll find that CBS was really trying to help him. 60 Minutes really put a nice little spin on it for him.
Okay.
Because if you believe that he had anything to do with instigating what happened on January 6th, you are a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, I look forward to these clips in overtime today.
Yeah, it should be fun.
BlazeTV.com/Pat.
And get your subscription right now, because that's what you need in order to enjoy overtime with us every day.
Yeah, you were talking about the green policies and how every federal department is going to go green. Climate justice. There's no place in this country is immune. I got to read this little bullet point thing from Justin Hart, because, Texas. Come on, what are you doing? Here's what he put up there after what the Texas legislature just did. Texas subsidizes renewable energy. Then natural gas energies can't compete. And so they're sidelined. Okay, that makes sense when you help out one economy and then the competition can't keep up. So intense weather events then curb the capabilities of renewable energies. We saw that in February of 2021. It was a nightmare here. Natural gas can't keep up. And that was in February of 2022. And Texas ends up subsidizing natural gas. That's what we end up doing. Instead of taking the subsidies away from green energy, we just go, we'll give money to natural gas too. So here in Texas, we're giving money to both of those industries when we should be giving zero to either. It's
yeah, well, they'll never talk about those subsidies that go to solar and wind. But they always
the left
whine and moan about fossil fuel subsidies when they're 1/25th of the subsidizing of solar and wind.
How about no subsidies?
How about let the free market work? How about that? What if we went back to that? Wouldn't that be something? Videos from flights rocked by turbulence have become a mainstay on social media, where videos of people screaming in cabins strewn with debris.
Oh, no. What's going on?
Now get thousands and sometimes millions of views.
Okay.
Well, climate change is going on.
I love it.
In December, a video of a turbulent Hawaiian Airlines flight where 20 people were taken to hospitals went viral and drove a sizable spike in search interest around turbulence. What we can confidently say, according to an official, what we can confidently say is that climate change is increasing the amount of clear air turbulence in the atmosphere.
Shut up.
Are you serious? So now even turbulence is caused by climate change.
Everything.
I guess we didn't have this before, right? There
used to be no turbulence.
Let's see. Global emissions are increasing atmospheric temperatures while the Earth is warming more rapidly in tropical regions than in polar regions. This causes a temperature difference between the north and south that increases global wind shear.
See, you got it.
Which is changing of wind speed or direction with height. Wind shear is a major contributor to clear air turbulence. Since satellites began observing wind shear in 1979, global wind shear has increased by 15%.
You're buying this, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hook, line, and sinker. This is ridiculous. A commercial airline pilot with several years of flying experience said he hasn't noticed a significant uptick in turbulence on his flights.
See?
Well, he just must be flying where, climate change hasn't affected the planet like everywhere else.
He's gotten lucky on his routes.
He has. Yeah, he has.
So there you go. I mean,
there it is.
Race and climate change. There's threads everywhere for those two. It's amazing how they pop up all the time. Racism and climate change.
Jeez.
Everywhere.
888-900-3393. More on the way.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got some tweets here. Happy Pappy 61 tweets, there's actually a good reason Biden hasn't visited East Palestine, Ohio. They don't have a single Baskin-Robbins. Oh, yeah, you can't be parted from a Baskin-Robbins for that long. From DG, the only emissions that are really hurting the environment are the sewage coming out of John Kerry's mouth.
We shouted out across that chasm. Israel high, Israel lives.
Right. That's what we shouted. Penguin Wrangler. Anytime the MSM, mainstream media, or government says if you believe that you're a conspiracy theorist, that means you're right, and they're covering it up.
Yes, it do.
Difference between conspiracy theories and the truth is less than 6 months now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Speaking of all the green insanity that we were talking about before the break, people around the world don't seem to be buying into the EV craze. Buyer interest in new electric cars has slumped by nearly 2/3 since the start of last year, according to new figures.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting? Wonder why. Could it be that they're super expensive and they don't help the environment? And they don't go that far on a charge?
And your electric bill skyrockets and matches basically what you'd be paying at the pump?
Wait, the energy to recharge the car, that doesn't come from pixie dust?
Well, it used to.
Oh, okay.
Remember we talked about subsidies earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, so when the Republicans, they didn't do a lot when they had all three branches, right? Okay. But one of the things they did was they got rid of pixie dust subsidies.
Oh, my gosh, these people are the worst, aren't they? These MAGA Republicans.
Steamrolled.
Well, they're trying to make the air dirty and our water toxic. That's what they're trying to do. Company's Road to 2030 report blamed the decline in demand for electric vehicles, or EVs, on a multitude of factors, including their premium price tags, the cost of living crisis, higher interest rates for borrowing, and increase in energy prices. The report follows Elon Musk's suggestion that he'll slash the price of Teslas in the U.S. for a staggering 6th time this year.
Wow.
Huh. How about that? After a series of cuts, the Tesla models are a respective 29% and 15% cheaper in the U.S. than at the start of the year. Oh, that's great. The analysis also stated that new EVs are an average of 37% more expensive than gas and diesel cars.
No, thank you.
I know. You know, I might be willing to indulge in that extra cost if they'd overcome all of the obstacles to owning an electric vehicle. I want my electric vehicle to go 400 miles on a charge. When they do that, and when you need to recharge it, it takes 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. You pull into a place, just like a gas station, and it takes you the same amount of time to recharge as it does to fill up a tank with gas.
That's when you're in.
That's when I'm in. Yep.
Okay. What if I can get you 300 miles per fill up?
I don't think 300 will do it. I mean, 300's not bad. If there are charging stations available wherever you need them, and they lower the time it takes from 2.5 hours or 10 hours or whatever it is to, a reasonable time frame. I'd go maybe as high as 20 minutes.
Ooh.
If you can recharge completely in 20 minutes.
What are you going to do at that time?
Probably...
Because you're a big reader.
Huge.
Right? Like you keep like a library in your back seat for those moments where you're just sitting there doing nothing.
Well, I've got a library right here.
There it is.
There it is. And all I have to do is
And you're always
tap
on
into
Twitter.
that. You're right.
Right. So,
Right.
I mean, so you got plenty of things you could do while you sit there and wait for that charge.
Yeah. So if it's 20 minutes, all right, that's a little bit inconvenient, but I'll go along with it.
20 minutes, 300 miles per charge.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
And it doesn't break the bank just to recharge it. I mean, wouldn't it really increase the amount of people who are interested in buying EVs if you just overcame those two problems?
Mm-hmm.
The range and the convenience. Because if you're traveling around the country, if you're driving, 1,000 miles, you don't want to have to stop 9 times to recharge, and you don't want to sit there for 2 hours.
What if you're in the mountains or somewhere in the middle of nowhere, though? That's seems like that'd be a problem. See,
Sure does.
I can carry, emergency gas and, a little. But I guess if they have the portable chargers, I guess you've seen people doing that. I don't know. What a nightmare. They are trying to third worldify us, and it is happening fast.
Yeah, it's working. So, yeah, they're pushing hard for this. And this Green New Deal is raising its ugly head again. I mean, they came up with the figure last week of $50 to $90 trillion they want to spend on the Green New Deal.
Where's this where does it come from?
I don't.
Just poof.
Thin air.
Let's just print more. It's stupid. We are such a suicidal nation.
Yeah, it's crazy. Plus, we have representatives in government who are also insane. I mean, green energy disciple and somebody who almost died on January 6th.
Yeah.
She was practically raped and killed.
Thank you for reminding us of this.
Even though she wasn't even there. But still, they were within a 20-mile radius of where she was.
Who's that? Who are we talking about?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
AOC.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, she was also upset that the Supreme Court, of course, made decisions she doesn't like. And so now, here's what she has to say about them.
But we also have to face the reality that the Supreme Court has chosen to give up huge swaths of their own legitimacy. Chief Justice Roberts, Clarence Thomas, Brett Kavanaugh, the Republican Party, in them giving up trying to take seriously the legitimacy, the standards, the integrity of the court, they have given up a very large degree of their authority.
Oh, no. How must that hurt them to hear those words coming out of her mouth? That must just wound them to the core.
So she didn't like Roe being overturned, and that was the whole basis of her comment there.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's...
That and the abortion pill thing.
Well, yeah, but I wonder if she's changed her tune on the Supreme Court now that they are for the abortion pill. Because, last week they overturned that Texas judge's ruling, and so now the abortion pill continues. A 7-2 vote. You're only conservatives, because a crazy conservative court, right? And there's no legitimacy. You only got Alito and Thomas voting to keep that ban in place. So I wonder if she's changed her tune on that. But yeah, you got broad access to that pill now. So don't worry about
Thank
it,
goodness.
AOC.
Yeah. Over the weekend, she was talking about political commentators, too, who say things she doesn't like.
Uh-oh.
And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it
Wait a
is
second.
very...
All right, pause that. Because I have the more complete version here somewhere, I think. Right? Didn't I put that in the machine? I believe I did.
I heard that annoying voice earlier.
Yeah.
I did, talking about Fox News.
Oh, man. Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is frightening. This is an elected official in the United States Congress saying this.
I believe that when it comes to broadcast television, like Fox News, these are subject to federal law, federal regulation in terms of what's allowed on air.
Okay. She is saying the feds should dictate what Fox is able to say and not say. Not MSNBC or CNN or CBS, ABC, NBC. Fox.
And what isn't. And when you look at what Tucker Carlson and some of these other folks on Fox do, it is very, very clearly incitement of violence.
Oh my gosh. We should go over someday all of the things Democrats have said and continue to say that incites people. From Maxine Waters to Barack Obama saying, get in their face. I mean, all of these things that they've said over the years. And they never incited anything. And if you dare say it, you're a conspiracy theorist.
And just a reminder, though, to AOC, because I'm sure she just let it slip there. She's trying to regulate what's happening on cable and satellite TV. I'm sorry, your little FCC control only extends to the
broadcast networks,
over-the-air channels. So I would say, why don't you work on updating that law? But I'd rather you didn't.
Yeah, they would. They would. If they could get away with it, they would pass a law that squelched only Fox and talk radio.
Yeah.
Jeez. Elon Musk and Twitter have been removing legacy blue check marks on social media.
Yeah, you and I both lost ours over the weekend. So,
dang it, what am I going to do now?
You're heartbroken, right?
I don't know what I can possibly, if I can continue.
Yeah.
I
don't know, man.
I can't believe we've made it through an hour and 10 minutes of the show so far with our blue check not being there on Twitter.
Not being there anymore. Yeah.
Oh, no. But there was actually melting down of some celebrities over the weekend.
This was beautiful.
Check this out.
Okay, so there we go.
Charlie Sheen.
Hold on. First, this is fun. The guy who has 52 followers has his blue check, and then celebrities that don't have it. It's so funny. But yeah, let's see some of the tweets from some of the celebrities that were crying over the weekend. With Charlie Sheen, I believe was one of them, as you mentioned.
Jason Alexander.
So there's Charlie Sheen's tweet to Elon Musk.
I'm sorry your fancy rocket exploded in spectacular fashion. I'm certain you'll build an even bigger and more explodey one.
Ugh.
Now, may I please have my blue check back? It would mean a lot to me.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see, because some of these whiners got their blue checks back. Charlie Sheen.
Did Sheen get his back?
I'm trying to find out.
So if I complain to...
Charlie Sheen got it back. Okay.
Oh, he did.
Yep. So what's the next one we got?
Jason Alexander.
Joe, what's the next one? Oh, Bette Midler. Here we go.
Oh.
Bette Midler.
Elon took my blue check away. I'm unverified. After all these years and thousands of tweets and free content, this worm has the nerve to decertify me.
Okay.
Okay, so it obviously meant a lot to
Let's
Bet.
see. I can't tell if she... let's see.
While you look, I'll read Jason Alexander's tweet. Okay, everyone, Twitter has removed my verification. I will no longer be posting on this app. Anyone who posts as me is an imposter.
Okay,
I wish you all well.
He got his back.
Oh, good. Thank goodness.
I don't see Bette Midler anymore. I wonder if she just left, which would be tragic, of course.
It would. It would. How about Alyssa Milano?
Oh, yeah, she's back. So it looks like Bette Midler is back, and these people are so sad. They're just sad. This is what Bette Midler did. She just made can you put the camera here, Joe? She put she made the blue check mark her.
Oh, isn't that clever?
So there she is.
That's really good.
So she's just a blue check now, even though she didn't get her blue check back. Okay, so what was the next one there?
Alyssa Milano. She get hers back?
She got hers back.
Oh, thank goodness. Good.
So by revoking my blue check mark because I wouldn't pay some arbitrary fee, someone can just be me and say a bunch of... Does that mean Twitter and Elon Musk are liable for defamation or identity fraud? Yes.
That's what it means.
Yes. And what was the last one? Do we have another one here? No. Oh, that's it. Okay, cool. There they are. What a
so you just have to whine about it, I guess, and you get it back.
So why don't you tweet and tag Elon Musk and say, bro,
dude,
do you know who I am?
Bro, dude.
I'm Mr. Twitter, and you took my check.
I'm unverified now. I don't know if I can continue with life.
I mean, these people, they're just look how fragile they are.
Mm-hmm.
Look at where they get their validation in life.
Mm-hmm.
That is so pathetic.
It's amazing.
And it says so much about them. And the fact that Elon caved, he has made it an arbitrary thing again, right?
Yeah.
By just saying,
right.
Okay, because that's what it used to be.
Yeah. This blue check thing has been a stupid move on his part, I think. But who am I?
Yeah,
well, I'm Mr. Twitter,
you're Mr.
so I guess I have the ultimate authority on Twitter.
And don't forget the Twitter files and all the behind the scenes stuff with the government working hand in glove with Twitter before Elon took over. And Matt Taibbi was one of the journalists who went before Congress and all this stuff, exposing this. And then you have a Democrat Congresswoman, Stacey Plaskett, who is now threatening Matt Taibbi with prison for lying to Congress. He didn't lie to Congress. You know what he did? I think he had like one fact or something wrong in a tweet that he then went back and corrected.
Mm-hmm.
And she's saying, aha, lying to Congress. And it's like the most absurd thing ever. These people are unrelenting. And of course there are two Americas. John Edwards, remember, he said there are two Americas. Well, he was right. Not in the way he thought, but my gosh, the justice system in this country, I swear, if this thing continues, remember the FBI showed up at his house while he was testifying or the next day or whatever it was?
Mm-hmm.
It's insanity. And you got to reel these people in. It'd be very interesting to see where this Hunter Biden laptop story goes now that the Republican House is on the case.
All right, let me tell you about Eden Pure. They're having their famous BOGO deal on thunderstorm air purifiers. One listener wrote, "It makes a huge difference in our cat litter box stink. I just wish I'd waited for the BOGO deal. I need another one." Well, now's the time for you. BOGO is back, so when you buy one thunderstorm, you get one free. Buy one, get one. That's what BOGO stands for. No matter how many you buy, you get an equal amount free. So if you buy 5, you'll get 5 free. You buy 2, you get 1 free. So, well, you buy 2, you get 2 free. You buy 1, you get 1 free. All right. The thunderstorm eliminates odors. It doesn't just mask them with icky, perfumey stuff. It sends out O3 molecules, and it destroys the odors and the viruses and bacteria that are in your air. You're going to be breathing easier and healthier air. So now's the time to do this while the buy one, get one free sale is on, and it's on this week only. So they've got over 350,000 thunderstorm units sold, countless 5-star reviews. You know it works. And you don't have to change filters. You just open it up from the package, plug it in, turn it on, and it's done. Just that easy. Go to Eden Pure Deals, EDENPURE, EdenPureDeals.com. Use the discount code PAT. That's EdenPureDeals.com, discount code PAT. Shipping is free.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
That's some tweets to share. Toothpaste words tweets. My daughter works for a Dodge dealership. There's been 3 Teslas sitting there for about a year now.
Oh, no, they can't sell them.
The Steve 42. Might only be 20 minutes to charge your Tesla, but there'll be 13 people in line ahead of you.
Oh, true.
Learning to blind. Okay, Keith, are those portable electric car chargers, also known as gas-powered generators, asking for a friend.
It's not my problem. I don't care. You know,
Yeah.
I drive a gas guzzler, and I'm never going to stop.
Yep.
But grateful.
Roger the sheep. For me, this is what it would take for him to buy an EV. For me, overcoming cold weather battery depletion and then catching fire if you drive through a few inches of rain. Yeah, that's another little
Seems like that would ruin your day.
deterrent. Yeah. Anna, for really, the overarching question regarding lack of blue check marks is who would want to be Alyssa Milano?
Yeah, no one's going to impersonate you, hon.
Probably not. Then we have this from Sarah. I would just love for a blue check being removed to be the worst of my problems. Yeah. These people have great lives and don't even know it.
That's a fact.
First world problems for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about that. I mean, the fact that we're even talking about a blue check mark on Twitter and whether or not you have one
Thank you.
shows that we're pretty spoiled.
Yeah.
Even now, in light of everything that's going on, we're still pretty
I
spoiled.
kind of feel like a burden's been lifted. Because now, you know, people don't have to think, oh, this is a trusted source, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then somebody else pointed out, good move by Elon for rewarding bad behavior. You know, you whine enough and sure, okay, I'll give you your blue check, which is, you know, how these people have been treated their entire lives, getting whatever they want. And so par for the course.
Yeah, they just expect it. And they got it, which kind of sucks. On the Republican side, over the weekend, Ron DeSantis responded to Donald Trump because of the former president's COVID criticisms. Their battle continues. Here's what happened there. Ron DeSantis.
And to me, leadership is having the courage to make difficult decisions in the teeth of opposition and criticism. A leader must have the confidence to stand all alone if need be. And so for us, as I got into office, COVID presented that situation for us because we were in a situation, the 3rd largest state in the country, one of the highest percentage of elderly, economy based on tourism, which we needed travel to continue. So this situation was an existential threat to our state. But I made the judgment, leaders take the bull by the horns and make the decisions for themselves. They don't subcontract out their leadership to health bureaucrats like Dr. Fauci.
Whoa. You can tell he's getting a little bit pissed off.
And he's getting
at
closer
the shots
to
Trump is taking.
Announcing, too, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's planned this. In fact, he's going all over the world here pretty soon.
Okay. He said that his state was the 3rd largest.
Yeah. Population-wise, I think he's talking.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think he's wrong.
Oh, really?
And I'm just going to make sure.
Well, there's California, Texas. Is Florida not 3rd?
Ooh, Florida has passed New York State.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because they're all moved in, man.
That's where they're moving from.
That is
in large part.
awesome.
Yeah, that's great. It's just sad to see this battle between DeSantis and Trump.
I know.
When they could be taking on, the real evil, which is the Biden administration.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they got to tear each other down, I guess, to win the nomination. So that apparently is what they're trying to do.
I tell you, here's a fun fact when it comes to the voting public in America. Dr. Peter McCullough posted on Twitter that, look, 25% of Americans took 0 COVID shots. And that's going to represent an influential voting bloc.
Yeah.
And if you've got Donald Trump, especially in the Republican primary, hanging on to the vaccine's a beautiful thing. It did great things. It's so wonderful. He needs to understand that there is a significant portion of American voters that despise the COVID shot, never took it, will never take it, hate what it's done to society, the lives that it's possibly taken, definitely caused injuries, et cetera, et cetera. Be careful, Donald Trump, because there's a lot of voters out there that are going to want to hear you address that, because Desantis is going to bring it up in the primary. Absolutely. You know RFK is going to bring it up in the general. I'm sorry. I'm looking way too far ahead here.
Well, I mean, he continually blames DeSantis, does Trump, for closing his state, supposedly for way too long. Well, he was doing mandates federally. He was telling everybody, you should be doing this. And he feigned that he was leaving it to the governors. But that whole 15 days to flatten the curve thing lasted how long? Longer than DeSantis closed down Florida, that's for sure. So, yeah, he should maybe avoid all the criticisms of how other people handled the pandemic.
Trying to change history doesn't work, man.
Yeah. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Hello. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. A couple of things that are going on in America way too often. Things that happen on a pretty regular basis that just are so un-American. It is hard to believe they actually occur. One of those is, of course, when they take their property, when they take your property from you for no reason, don't even have to arrest you or file charges or any of that. Civil asset forfeiture. The other thing going on is, one of the other things, there's many, but this squatters' rights thing that is happening where somebody will just move into someone's home who's on vacation or gone or they're trying to lease or rent the home out or sell it. And then somebody just moves in and forges a deed or a title, and then cops are called in to do something and they claim they can't do a thing about it. This squatter situation is unbelievable. They just had there was an example of this in Florida where a landlord lost, she estimates $40,000 worth of damages that these squatters did to her home. She shot a video inside the property showing holes in the walls, doors ripped off hinges, feces on the carpet. She confronted the squatters, telling them she owned the property, and she was told it doesn't effing matter. She explained that the squatters broke into the property by drilling out the deadbolt and replacing it with their own. That right there was when I lost control of my property, she said. These squatters know the laws better than most attorneys do, and they use them to their advantage. Police are absolutely hamstrung. How is this possible? How? When they clearly don't have the real deed to the property, and they're living there not paying rent, not paying a mortgage, and somebody else owns the home and can prove it, how can you not force them from that place? She says they know that this is a civil matter. The police have absolutely no right to remove these squatters and treat them as criminals, as individuals that have broken in or trespassed. And they simply throw up their hands and say, you need to go through this civil court system and evict them. It's just unbelievable. The court process can take up to 30 days or even 6 months in some cases. In some cases, depending on where, it can take a year and a half. And she says this is a nationwide problem.
Yeah, I'm just looking, just a really brief thumbnail sketch. It looks like the easiest place to squat is California and Montana, 5 years. And it looks most difficult, 15 years for Vermont, Virginia, Oklahoma.
My gosh.
Nevada, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota. So a lot of these are 15 years, 18 in Colorado. But you've got a couple there. What was this Florida story? Let's see, 7 years there. But there's varying degrees. Like I was just looking up Texas, and there's like 3, 5, and 10 year increments, depending on if a title's involved or not. But you're right. I mean, it's just because I've had my eye on this mansion that sits behind this softball field where we go.
Is it
quite often
not occupied?
It's not. It
No,
doesn't.
you and your family should move in.
It doesn't appear occupied.
Get at least a year and a half out of it.
Right, and I'm looking at it. Like we go over there every so often, and it always looks abandoned. And you look on Zillow, and you're like, "This thing's for sale," and it's still for sale. Yeah, and you should totally.
Crazy.
I mean, it is a palace too, and so I've been keeping an eye on the Texas law for a while now. But this is so. Does this not sum up our nation perfectly in so many ways? Like you don't have to work for it. You don't have to own it. It's yours. I mean, it's just. Oh.
So this owner told Fox News that she couldn't do anything about the squatters because if she tried to on her own, she said we would be in jail. Oh. So they'd be the ones who were the bad guy.
Yep.
She said, in fact, I couldn't even turn off the electricity and water. We're prevented from doing that. So not only did they steal a home and live in it for a good long while, I mean months and months, but they lived in relative comfort with a washer-dryer, which they stole, fully stocked kitchen with all the appliances and heat, air conditioning, water. You couldn't shut any of it off. How is it possible? When you show authorities the actual title to the home, it shows that you own it. Why can you not evict the people who have clearly used a fake, fraudulent title?
Yeah, it's time to update some of these laws. I don't know what kind of ancient ritual that we're honoring, that was the genesis for some of these laws, but it's stupid and it's wrong and it needs to stop.
It's insanity. You could go on vacation and lose your home if somebody just decided, you know what, we're going to remove the locks and move in. Well, and here's our fake title. Okay. All right. And there's nothing you could do for months at a time. And they completely trashed the house when they were finally evicted. So they put holes all over the walls and, smashed up the fireplace. It was just despicable what they did to this place. $40,000 worth of damage, she says. Crazy. How can it happen in America? And how many things do we say that about now? Way too many, that's for sure. Also in Florida, this is interesting. They had to cancel a gay pride parade.
Oh, nuh-uh.
Yeah, you know why? It was because of the anti-drag show law.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wait, but I was...
I know. Were you about to go and participate in...
Yes.
And maybe parade down the streets with your anus hanging out of the back of your pants because you've cut that part out. Because I think that's mandatory at those parades.
No wonder
I've seen a lot of pictures
today.
Little butt cheeks, your buttocks hanging out of your pants.
Yeah. So I was going to be...
It's a good look,
but
really.
Now, so they're doing this because kids aren't allowed at drag shows, but I thought these weren't about kids.
Well, that's what I thought,
so
too.
why cancel?
So how would it be a problem?
Why is that a problem? Yeah.
So it was canceled because the new law restricted pride events to people 21 and older in anticipation of DeSantis signing the bill. Bill's not even signed into law yet, and they canceled it anyway. The Pride Alliance of the Treasure Coast posted last Wednesday on Facebook that the decision to change this Saturday's Pride Fest events was made after multiple conversations with St. Lucia officials. We hope that everyone understands that this is definitely not what we wanted at all and are working with the city to assure our safety.
Oh, gosh, shut up.
As well as produce a positive event.
Oh, yeah, because...
Yeah, nothing more
these
positive.
These events are constantly...
Super positive.
Dealing with
and they're
violence.
Family affairs, It's a family affair.
Yep.
The Florida House sent Desantis the bill on Wednesday that bans children from adult performances. So if you can't take children to a gay pride parade, what's the sense in having one?
Yeah, you know how the saying goes, the family that drags together stays together.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that phrase, I'd have a nickel.
You'd have a...
Yeah, because you just said it.
Nickel.
So.
Yeah.
Why are you gay?
Oh, what a world, huh?
What a world.
Fun. I'm loving this place.
What a world indeed.
I'm loving this place. America 2023.
Let me just tell you about some really good news, though. And that is Magic Spoon cereal. It tastes like your childhood favorites, but with more protein and less sugar. I love this stuff. It is so good. There's 4 flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter. It has 0 grams of sugar.
Wow.
13 to 14 grams of protein, 4 to 5 net grams of carbs, and just 140 calories per serving. High protein, 0 sugar, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and it tastes incredibly good. You're going to wonder, okay, how did they make this taste so good? So it's really fantastic. I really think you're going to love it. Go to magicspoon.com/unleashed. And especially if you're trying to, live a low-carb lifestyle, like I am right now, this is something for you. Grab a variety pack. Try it today. Be sure to use our promo code UNLEASHED at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product. It's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for whatever reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. But I really think you're going to like it. You're going to love it. Remember, get your delicious bowl of high-protein cereal, magicspoon.com/unleashed, and use the promo code UNLEASHED to save $5 off.
Pat Gray. Unleashed.
Yes. Here in Texas, the 10 Commandments are now mandated to be displayed prominently in all public schools after the passage of Senate Bill 1515 last Thursday. Huh. Really? The Texas Senate recently approved Senate Bill 1515, which requires every public elementary or secondary school to prominently display a durable poster or framed copy of the 10 Commandments in every classroom.
Yeah, I smell a future date at the Supreme Court of the United States.
No question. The poster or copy must be easily legible to individuals with average vision from any part of the classroom.
Oh, look at that. They even wrote that in there because they knew that some people, some schools would just put little...
Make it so small you couldn't see it. But they can't. In addition, the Texas Senate has also passed a bill that mandates schools allocate time for prayer.
I smell a future date in front of the Supreme Court of the United States.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick commented, bringing the 10 Commandments and prayer back to our public schools will enable our students to become better Texans. Critics of the bill argue that it violates the principle of separation of church and state.
Show me.
Yeah, show that to me. Show me that exact phrase in the U.S. Constitution, and I'll be there. I'll be right there with you.
Clarence Thomas will ask that question.
Yeah, show me the separation of church and state. Show me that.
We'll wait.
We're going to have a long wait, but we'll wait.
So, let's see.
Pretty interesting.
So, I just missed this paragraph. Here we go. A new Texas state law last year required school districts in the state to display posters of the In God We Trust motto, as long as the copies were donated or purchased from private donations. Oh. So that's interesting. So we've already got In God We Trust. Has anyone melted? Joined... Has anyone spontaneously combusted in the last year?
I don't think so.
Texas?
Not that I've heard.
I mean, aside from the summer heat.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from having In God We Trust in view at schools.
Okay. I don't know.
You haven't heard anything?
Have not seen a story on that.
But you're not confirming because you don't know. You admitted you don't know.
I do not know.
This is going to be fun to watch this ride.
Yeah, it is, because it's going to be nasty. That'll be a nasty fight.
Yes.
This is good, though. Democrats have introduced a bill that provides special protection for any illegal immigrants who are considered vulnerable.
Oh, here we go.
The bill protects illegal immigrants from being detained long-term if they identify as LGBTQIA2+, or qualify as any other protected class. Equal justice for all, right? Isn't that what's happening here? Sure. The Dignity for Detained Immigrants Act. Oh, man. Introduced by 4 Democrats, including Cory Booker and Adam Smith. The proposed legislation would hinder Border Patrol agents from detaining certain vulnerable populations. The bill would protect any illegal who identifies. So is not everybody going to identify this way? Sorry, you can't hold me because I'm gay.
There you go.
Why wouldn't you just say that?
Yep.
You don't have to claim asylum anymore. You just say, yeah, I'm gay. I'm questioning. I'm queer. Any of that. Anybody who identifies, it says specifically, as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or intersex.
Mm-hmm.
The bill would also give special protection to anyone under the age of 21 or older than 60, plus pregnant women, asylum seekers, survivors of torture or gender-based violence, those experiencing severe trauma. There's another thing you could easily say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got severe trauma going on.
Yeah,
so I need to sneak into your country illegally.
I just walked across 2 continents.
Yeah, I got severe trauma going on. I really
Better
do.
believe it.
Yeah. Individuals fearing persecution, also pretty hard to prove. Yeah, I'm afraid that I'll be persecuted if I go back home, so you can't send me back. And illegal aliens. This is unbelievable. It also protects illegal aliens with, quote, limited English language proficiency. So if you can't speak English, you may stay here or must actually stay here.
Bro, it's a good time to be alive. Isn't it fun?
Oh, man.
There's not a dull day in this timeline.
So really, you don't even have to identify as LGBTQIA2+. You just say, yeah, I don't speak English very well. Just a little teeny bit. All right.
Works for us.
See ya.
Come on in.
Come on down. You're the next person who has snuck illegally into our country. Yay!
And then they will make sure that if you even say anything about being questioning or trans or whatever, they will make sure that you get all the care you need.
You bet.
We could actually do it right here. If you want, we could make you into a girl that you've always wanted to be. No, I just wanted into the country. We're good. By the way, I think this is a great point that my buddy Ian Patterson said on Twitter over the weekend. Just going to put this out there. Gender-affirming care is conversion therapy.
Well, yeah.
I mean, isn't that?
Yeah, we've said that multiple times.
Yeah.
It's not gender-affirming.
Yeah.
If you're affirming it, you're telling them to stay the gender they are.
But if you just call it conversion therapy, that's a bad thing, I thought. Right?
Yeah.
That's what we're always told. How dare you try to convert somebody into being something that they're obviously not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what that is when you're affirming their new gender.
Yep. And that's just one of the many things that will allow you to illegally sneak across our border.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be allowed to then stay, according to this bill, if it passes. So Congresswoman Jayapal said the bill would go, quote, go a long way to restore humanity and dignity to the immigration system. Sure. Yeah, won't it, though? That just ensures that everybody caught can be released into this country with no consequences whatsoever. She said, there's no question that our immigration system is broken. Yeah, so you're going to shatter it into pieces now.
Wait, this doesn't fix it?
Yeah. No. The Dignity for Detained Immigrants Act urgently reforms the alarming injustices of a broken for-profit immigration detention system by ending the use of private detention facilities altogether, repealing mandatory detention, and prohibiting family detention while also restoring due process and increasing oversight, accountability, and transparency measures. Oh, man. It's an upside-down world. Booker said, Cory Booker, our immigration system has allowed for the unjust treatment of immigrants and stripped them of their humanity and due process. They're not stripping us of anything by ignoring our laws? Really? We're being treated with dignity and respect when they come here regardless of how we feel about it?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Your white privilege is showing, Pat.
I guess so. Yeah. Booker said further, we must respect and protect the basic rights of immigrants detained in the United States. I'm proud to reintroduce this bill that would ensure our immigration system aligns with our country's core values. Oh, man. So our core values, I guess, are that we're lawless and none of our laws matter to anybody who just wants to come here and break them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's our
core
nation
value.
now. It sure is. Now it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, it absolutely is our core value to just ignore the law. There is no law in the United States of America anymore. Jeez. Here's a really weird story, too.
It is, man.
Officials in Texas are bewildered by several cattle that mysteriously, I think it was 5 or 6, had their tongues and genitalia removed.
Oh.
There was no blood. There were no signs of struggle anywhere near the dead cattle. It seems like if you're cutting a cow's tongue out, there might be some resistance there from the cow. But maybe they didn't mind. So obviously they were, I don't know, asleep or unconscious or dead when they removed the tongue and genitalia. I don't know. But they said the grass around the cows wasn't even disturbed. So how did this happen?
Oh, yeah. You know how it happened.
Aliens. Aliens? No, not aliens?
Oh,
yes.
Definitely aliens.
Okay.
Of course.
6 cattle found dead under these mysterious circumstances across Madison County. Ranchers first found a 6-year-old longhorn cross cow lying on her side, deceased and mutilated on their ranch. Where's Scully and Mulder when you need them? The Madison County Sheriff's Office issued a statement regarding the suspicious cattle deaths. A straight, clean cut with apparent precision had been made to remove the hide around the cow's mouth on one side, leaving the meat under the removed hide completely untouched. The tongue was also completely removed from the body with no blood spill. How is that even possible?
Bro.
Interesting. Wow, that is so weird.
So what I want to know is, did any of these cows have that mRNA vaccine given to them? Maybe that's...
Is that what you suspect?
Is this a died suddenly situation we got going on here?
It might be.
And don't look all innocent, little alien standing on my mic stand here.
Yeah, he knows. He knows what he did.
I can hear him snickering. He's hearing this story. This is... I don't like it.
So weird. Police noted there were no signs of struggle, footprints, or tire tracks near the mutilated animals. Ranchers also reported that no predators or birds would scavenge the remains of the cow.
Check that out.
Leaving it to decay untouched for several weeks.
Check that out.
The police revealed that 5 other cattle deaths were eerily similar. Interesting. Wow, that is weird.
So weird.
How can that be? Well, again, aliens. That's how.
Yeah. I'm just looking to see where Madison County is. It's about I don't know. It's in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's halfway between Houston and Dallas.
Oh, really?
It's so it's just
very strange. And you know, if that's a person doing it, why?
And how? No tracks, no struggle.
I
mean,
no blood.
How do you get a cow to cooperate for this?
Yeah, I don't think you do.
So what do you think it is, Pat? If you had a gun to your head, what's the answer to this weird story?
Aliens. It's got to be aliens.
Got to be, right?
It's the only explanation.
It is the only explanation, Pat.
Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that stands up to scrutiny.
Or it's the vaccine.
or that.
It's aliens or the vaccine.
But it's definitely one of the two.
Sure.
You know, it's definitely one of the two. Wow.
I don't like it. How about that one?
That's a powerful quote. We should use that on Twitter. Keith, I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Unquote.
Just too muck and fudge, future bingo square. I don't like it. I do not. I like to know things. Okay. And that is one thing, not knowing, that really disturbs me.
Yeah. Okay, coming up on Overtime, a little Ray Epps fun. He was on 60 Minutes, and man, were they brutal with him yesterday. Ooh-wee. We'll show you that intense, brutal interview, which no one knows how in the world he survived it. Coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.